I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone. Worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness. One mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got love, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grindin'.
What's up, Fight Fam, and welcome to Boxing Bros. I'm Caden. I'm here with my co-hosts. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I don't know everybody. It's Trill.
It's G.
It's the TBE, baby. What up, where? They know it's the TBE.
Hey, dog.
No shots.
Dog, what's going on here? All right, anyways, the first topic we're going to dive into is the reaction to Terence Crawford knocking out Kell Brook. One of the things I'm going to do is this is on Twitter, so you can, every time, try to get this. I don't want the audio. All right, here we go. You can go on Twitter,
Look at the
ESPN. And you could take a look at it yourself if you didn't have a chance to watch the fight. Trill Dollar Bill, what was your reaction to Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook?
It was a good fight. I don't know. It's what I don't know. I guess it's what everybody expected. I guess. Good fight. I'm done.
How about this? Were you impressed? Were you impressed with that fight?
Impressed with what?
All right. Wait. How about this, Trill? So I gotta get it out of Trill because Trill's not. Hey, Trill, was that the best Kell Brook you've ever seen? That's what people are trying to float around, right? Was that the best Kell Brook you've ever seen?
Yo, stop it.
I'm not doing this. Yo, I saw online after the weigh-in, people were like, yo, Kell looking, this the best Kell. Oh, TC's getting a better Kell. What do you think?
Oh my goodness. He looked the part. Not really. He shot, man. He shot. There's the only thing left for him is for him and Amir Khan to get this fight on and then go right off in the sunset. You know, because it's a wrap. As far as that elite level goes, it's done for. He's done. But shout out to Kell Brook. He gave up a good effort for the first 2 rounds. I seen him doing his thing, but they got to step up the level of competition. Listen, this is crazy. They still got the training wheels on them. People are gonna be embarrassed now. Everybody's gonna see it now, so I'm not even gonna. But good fight. I'm glad that everybody was able to make a little bit of money, go home safe with their families. That's what's important to me. I gotta stop with that.
All right. I'm gonna shake it up, and I'm gonna give Ned a chance to tell us what he thought of the fight. Since I actually know Ned was watching this fight with us, and he was watching it on free TV this time. So go ahead, Ned.
At first, I want to point out a couple of things before, like their fight started. After the fight that took place before them, the press, the promo they put out, the hype to hype up the fight. There was like Terence Bud Crawford, 33 years old, no notable fights, versus the Kell Brook, who used to be an elite fighter. What is help him boost his resume or whatever, boost his profile? I was like, wow, And then they were like, who's the number one pound for pound? Canelo. And I was just like, oh, they're trying to get my man Canelo over there now because he just knocked Bud Crawford, man. So I was just like, oh, man, everybody knows, Katie been preaching the truth for some time now. Now they just threw some shots at their boy. And then when I saw that fight, I was just like, at first, the first couple rounds, it was looking even. It was looking like Kell Brook could hang with him. And then he messed up. I ain't score rounds. I just the eye test. You know what I mean? I saw what I saw.
I mean, it was over in the fourth, so.
Yeah, it was over in the fourth.
You all right.
Kell Brook slipped up.
Yo, bro, I'm being dead. I didn't even pull out my scorecard. I didn't even open the app, dog. I already knew. I told everyone before it happened what was going to happen. All right, go ahead, G.
All right, yo, man. I actually took down some notes because I got a lot to say about this fight.
Oh, jeez. G's going in.
I was going to do it.
Hey,
right?
Do your thing, G. Go ahead.
So, first I'm going to say, going into the fight, I honestly thought it was going to be a lose-lose for TC regardless. Whether he wins, it's going to be, well, you beat a broken Kell Brook who starved himself at 147, doesn't even have his trainer, had to travel by himself to the States. There was like so many things stacked against at least this fight that I was like, come on, man. And then I was like, well, if he lost, it'd be like, whoa, you lost to Spence's leftovers. So either which way is going to be a lose-lose for him. But watching last night, the way ESPN was pushing it, you would have thought my man TC beat Floyd Mayweather, son. I was just like, yo, they gassing Kell right now. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's a problem, But I feel like real boxing fans know that ain't the real Kell Brook, man. So we got to stop that. But I will say this, though. TC did put them paws on that man. So, and to be honest with you, what TC did is what I wanted Haney to do to Gamboa, right? If you know a person is like past their prime on their way out, you'll finish them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the very least, you could be like, yo, I finished them better than the other people before. Now, it doesn't really mean anything, but however, to casuals, you could paint that argument, right? So it could, because, people, all they're going to hear is, yo, Kell Brook, former champion, was in the ring with Triple G, was in the ring with Spence, now TC. So it's like, we know that this ain't the same Kell Brook. A lot of casuals don't know that, right? And then you can use that for leverage to negotiate bigger and better fights and paydays and stuff like that. What else I wanted to say? But I can't give TC much credit for this fight. And this is the reason why. I don't know if y'all watched the weigh-in. When they went, like after the weigh-in, they got into that little back and forth banter with each other. And Kell Brook said something like, you can see in my eyes that this is going to be your toughest fight. And TC responded saying, yo, what are you talking about? You got two broken eyes or two bad eyes. I'm like, bro, you about to get in the ring with homie. And you're like talking about how bad his eyes are. So you kind of discredited yourself, And
Just an ad lib as well. They were on Max on Boxing after. And he said the same exact thing on Max on Boxing. And then Max took the time to tell everyone about how he had two broken eye sockets, one from the Triple G fight and one from the Spence fight. So
that's what I'm saying. So to me, it's like, how can you really gloat and like gas your performance when you know the guy that you was fighting had like messed up eyes? Clearly, it was like, there's a lot of issues with that. But let me go down to Brook. First and foremost, I like to say, Kell Brook, Special K, you a warrior, bro. You always took the big fights. You literally came to the U.S. by yourself, and you're one fan from the U.K. Shout out to whoever was streaming. You know what I'm saying? That one fan held you down.
It was like, like a ghetto high school graduation. When they call the names and someone goes like, one parent goes crazy, that's what it sounded like.
Exactly. That's one fan that showed up. You know what I mean? So salute to him. But, fighting Triple G, I think, honestly, that was the career ender for him. Spence, yeah, but that Triple G punishment, I think, is what changed his whole trajectory of his career, right? And so now I have to say this. I think you should really, really consider retiring. And I don't want to sound like Trill the commissioner, but I don't think he could compete with elite welterweight boxing anymore. Like, it's clear as day. if a jab could cause that type of damage, that just told me your face hasn't truly healed up, and it may never heal up the right way, you know. So you taking like a couple of punches to the face could make you go blind at this point, you know. Like, he reacted so wrong from that punch that I was like, you know what, I don't think I want to see him in the ring again with another elite fighter, you know. So I agree with Trill. Maybe Amir Khan, and after Amir Khan, please, brother, just retire. Like, you're a warrior. Nobody's gonna like take your legacy away from you, but nobody wants to see you go blind either. That was like extremely dangerous. That was the first time I was like, damn, I feel like I'm trilling here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, like, where's Trill at? You know what I'm saying? Almost made a call to Trill, like, damn, Trill, we gotta say something, man, tomorrow, man. The commission has to speak, you know what I mean? But I will say this. I'm not shocked anymore by why Eddie and Kell Brook's trainer was not involved in this tragedy. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I think the UK knew before a lot of us, you know what I mean? That's why they want to pick up the fight, a number of things. And it's like, that fight right there just showed why a lot of people weren't interested in this fight, why a lot of people thought, hey, you know what, this is just TC taking advantage of poor Kell Brook. And shout out to Ned, man, when Ned said Kell OK Brook. He's not Special K anymore, man. And unfortunately, so I just like to say, man, thank you for, these years of entertainment. But, bro, you got to hang up them gloves, man. So that's about it. That's why I was like, yo, man, I had so much to cover, man. It was a lot, But, and it's another thing, too. This was not a prime Kell Brook. His reaction time was slower.
What gave it away?
What gave it away? It was so bad. I was like, bro, the old Kell Brook would have been a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't like when the media is like force feeding me some type of narrative, and it's like, this ain't the Kell Brook that we were used to. This is a Kell Brook shadow.
Legitimately arguments being made that the Kell Brook last night was better than the one that Earl Spence fought, bro. That's legitimate. Those arguments.
Blasphemy.
The commentary from these people are starting to sound like, remember when we was kids and we used to watch the WWF? That's what it's starting to sound. It's starting to sound like
no lie.
It was disgusting. Yeah. Disgusting. Speaking of commentary, because I don't even have the commentary on my list. The first 2 rounds, the commentary, that's how you know. That's how you know was nobody worried about Kell Brook, bro. Yo, after those first 2 rounds, if they really thought he was a threat, they would have been panicked. Everyone was like, well, we'll just see what happens when Terence Crawford lands a clean one.
Oh, man. Dirty, man. They did Kell Brook dirty, man.
You done, G? You done?
Yeah, I'm done, man. I just hope Kell Brook got paid for real, like good money.
You got $2 million according to sources, but you know how that goes.
You got more, man. But it's all
how that goes. Okay, so a few things. One, I want to acknowledge that before this happened, I told everyone it was going to be a mismatch. It was going to be a wash. Now, some people may point out that Kell Brook took arguably the first 3 rounds. The first 2, easy from what I saw. Remember, I didn't score it. But I remember the first 2 rounds thinking, all right, Kell got that. The third one, you could make an argument either way. But it was going to be irrelevant, and I knew that as well. That's why I never pulled out my phone to keep the score. I told you, UK fans, and I understand. If you need to ride with Kell Brook one last time, go on ahead. But now I just want to point out how you played yourself. You led yourself to believe that a man who was competitive 6 years ago was somehow going to be competitive today. It's what you led yourself to believe. You led yourself to believe that, oh yeah, he beat Sean Porter. He beat Sean Porter 6 years ago. He was competitive with Earl Spence 3 years ago. Oh, his eye had a chance to heal up. Oh, this is going to be different. And I know TC has no notable names. This I know. This we know. But what you didn't accept was that Kell Brook was finished. How did you know Kell Brook was finished? When it came time to fight Triple G, oh, Eddie Hearn was his biggest cheerleader. Go pull them interviews up. Dominique Ingle would have followed Kell Brook to the moon and the stars back then. He followed him up 2 weight classes so he can take on Triple G, and he got beat. And then there's this narrative being pushed that like right after Triple G beat Kell Brook, that's when Earl Spence was like, well, I'll jump in the ring with him now. No. Earl Spence been his mandatory, bro. Earl Spence was his mandatory, so Earl Spence was waiting for that fight. He's the one who chose to fight Triple G and then decided he was going to go back down to defend his title. Otherwise, hell, maybe Earl would have got it through email. I don't know. But the bottom line was Earl was the mandatory. He had to defend against Earl. And Earl went to England to fight Kell Brook. Now, let's not.
Brownie. Don't forget the brownie. You know
brownie. The chocolate brownies. But no, let's talk about this, though, for real. So, Earl Spence, Kell Brook put on a hell of a performance against Triple G, but once he got hit, it was a wrap. He went and he fought Earl Spence and he put up a competitive fight against Earl Spence. How can you say Kell Brook's athleticism, his reflexes, his quickness, all that was better in 2020 than it was back then? Do you hear yourself? Back when he beat Sean Porter, Cam Newton was the most athletic player in the NFL. What are you saying now? You're going to tell me that Cam today is better than he was when he won MVP? Like, what's up with you guys? Like, I don't understand. So the writing was on the wall for Kell Brook. Here's all that you needed to know. His trainer refused to train him for this fight. Said, I got other fighters I'm focusing on. Do you do that with your best fighter? No, you do not. You wouldn't do that with your best fighter. He uttered the words, we've had a good run.
This is it.
A good run. I told y'all already. When you hear those words, it's not a good thing. Who's the first person to know that a fighter shot? The trainer.
Exactly.
Not only did the trainer say we've had a good run and I'm not going to train you, Sky Sports did not air this fight. This fight was aired on Premier Sports 1, a station that I know from our comment section is not big in the UK. People are like, but of course, you saw Kell Brook get on the scale. You saw him hit 147. The body looked good. And you just went right back to the good old days. I've been there. Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, I've been there. You got to ride out with your squad. But listen, I told you he was going to get beat. But what did I tell you more importantly? They were going to act like he slayed Goliath. They were going to act like look at the reaction to after he knocked out Kell Brook. And they were like, oh, Triple G did it in 5. Earl Spence did it in what? I don't even know when Earl Spence did it, like 11? Yeah. Or whatever. Earl Spence did it in 11. And he did it in 4. Yeah, 4 years later? Like, you guys are jokes. Like, yo, I'm telling you, this is just getting ridiculous to me. So I take nothing away from Terence Crawford's performance. What do I know about Terence Crawford? He's a talented fighter. Good skills, good reflexes, decent pop. This I know. But I also know Kell Brook did. The man who isn't the guy he once was did put it on TC for a little bit. He did put it on TC for a little bit. Look at TC's eye. Now, how can anybody tell me after that fight, you're confident that he would do that to Earl? Kell Brook had no punch resistance. A jab. Yo, that looked like a jab to me. I don't know about anyone else. It looked like a jab that he landed. Flush on Kell Brook. Sent him flying through the ropes.
Had the referee playing dodgeball. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, that shows you all you need to know about Kell Brook's punch resistance. But it's okay, because I told you That's why I nicknamed him Terence Pootie Tang Crawford. It ain't got nothing to do with Terence Crawford. The only person who get hyped like that for doing so little was Pootie Tang. Like that's why I nicknamed him that. Because I told everyone this was going to happen. His fans were going to come out. They already made Kell Brook better than he was in his prime. Do you not get that? They're saying Kell Brook is better than was his prime. Oh, here's another argument that's dumb. Earl Spence got him when he was damaged. So Triple G broke one eye socket and he broke the other. So you can make the argument that, you know, he was living off of Triple G if he would have re-injured the eye socket that was already broken. He broke the other one. He broke the other one. Like, come on, man. Like, listen. All that tells me is that there's something wrong with Kell and his ability to absorb punishment. I nicknamed Deontay Wilder King of the Leftovers. Everybody loved it. So tell me this. Riddle me this. Deontay Wilder's fighting a man who had his eye socket broken in one fight, right? Then in the next fight, he had the other eye socket broken. The guy hasn't fought at heavyweight for 3 years, but then he comes to fight Deontay Wilder at heavyweight. And Deontay Wilder knocks him out the way that Terence Crawford just did. The critics would be chirping, calling him a cherry picker, calling him all types of names. But Terence Crawford does it, and then all of a sudden, it's proof that he would beat Earl Spence, the guy who beat Kell Brook before him, and it's proof that he beat Deanie Garcia and all these other guys. It's proof of all that now, that he beat a damaged fighter. If Deontay Wilder did that, the world would eat him alive. So I call out Terence, although I like Terence for that, and then I become a hater. Then I become an Earl Spence fanboy. Do y'all know I'm not an Earl Spence fan like that? I like Earl Spence, but that's not my favorite welterweight. How can I be a PBC fanboy when I crush Deontay Wilder every chance I get? That don't make no sense. Look at yourself. The only thing that's not consistent is you. I'm holding these fighters to the same standard. And trust me on this. If after December 5th, the winner of that fight doesn't call out Terence Crawford, trust me, I'm on that too. I'm on that too. But unlike everybody else who's fanboying, I see this differently. I see a group of men fighting each other and one guy who's like, don't make me come across that street. Contract ends. He can cross the street. I'm going to stay over here. Y'all got to come over here. There's more. We're going to get into it in the next segment. But let me just make sure. Oh, this is my last thing. Yo, for real, ESPN, you need to fire Timothy Bradley. I usually don't call for nobody's head. I don't. But yo, it's unbearable.
I've been giving Timmy a break too.
It's unbearable watching this dude call fights, yo. It's unbearable. Like last night, we're gonna get into Bob's comments, but in response to Bob's comments, this dude Timothy Bradley goes, "I believe it too."
Ward was like, "Nah."
and then Ward always has to be like, "Yo, I have to distance myself from this. This is getting ridiculous." Timothy Bradley, let me tell you something about yourself. You a former top-ranked fighter. You never fought anybody that wasn't on top rank your whole career. So I'm sure Arum fed you that same BS, right? Oh, they afraid of you. They don't want to fight you. Bro, look at who you got beat up so many times, bro. Like, you think these guys didn't want to fight you? So I get it. You were a top-ranked fighter, and you had a good career as a top-ranked fighter, fighting a bunch of other top-ranked fighters. Who'd you get? You got Pacquiao 3 times. They even gifted you a decision in a lot of people's eyes. So you love them for that. You love them for that, right? Who else you get? Marquez. You got Jesse Vargas. Right, you got the whole list of the top-ranked litter, and you never fought no one from the other side. You never fought a PBC fighter, and I'm sure Bob fed you the same thing. So you look at Terence Crawford and you see yourself. You see home team. So what do? You gas him up with no objectivity in sight. Oh, he would have beat them guys. He would have, in your mind, you would have beat them guys.
It's insane night.
The same night he would have beat. I'm telling you, he's thrown back to Ray Robinson. Bro, stop it. Stop it. Because logic would say, if you never fought no one from PBC and he's not fighting someone from PBC, is it really PBC? Really? Every time there's a welterweight on Top Rank, PBC is just so afraid to fight them, or as the Top Rank don't want to risk their fighters with PBC guys. Come on, man. Manny Pacquiao couldn't get these fights with these PBC fighters until he left Top Rank, and then it was so easy to make them fights. So easy for him to get Broner, Thurman. All it took was him leaving Top Rank, but you want me to believe they're afraid of you. You even said Pacquiao didn't want to fight you and Pacquiao was afraid of you, and now all of a sudden you're in negotiations to fight Pacquiao. What happened? Pacquiao left Top Rank? That's what happened. Look, I'm done with this. I'm just going to say it like this. This fight was conceded from the moment it started. From the moment that Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn said, do your thing in America, we about to put a card on with Katie Taylor. On the same night as you, we could have been televising your fight, but instead we're going to invest our resources in an up-and-coming star and not a declining one, right? This is what happened. His trainer said, we had a good run. Anyone with half a brain knows that that's a concession. And then at 4 a.m. in the UK, Kell Brook got knocked out with a jab.
Please like and subscribe.
Hold on. I know we've been hard on Kell Brook in this camp, yo, but I want to give one shout out to Kell Brook's financial advisor. He was the only one that made it seem like it was feasible for him to take this fight because he saw there was no Eddie Hearns, no trainers, no huge UK promotion company involved in this, and it was like the only thing you got is this money on the table. It's a lose-lose situation. You could take the money and lose, or you could go in there and knock them out and still lose, you know? But it's still not going to do anything for him. But shout out to
win-win.
Yeah, win-win. Yeah, whatever, yo. All right, Trust.
Whatever.
My bad,
I'm
yo.
not going to say anything.
Let the segment.
Hold up. I'm not going to say anything because there's some people in our comment section who feel like all we do is clown Ned. Evidence right there. Things happen.
Hey, Charles, end the segment, man. Cut it out.
I'm gonna let it slide this time, but I just need to point out for those people who get in their feelings when I clown my little brother Ned.
Yo, Charles, end the segment, dog.
There's like being abused and it's a win-win.
I was lost, man. I forgot my train of thought. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Also, check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This is crazy. This is so much to take in. Kaden, you hit every nail on the head. You too, G. This is incredible. Timothy Bradley, man. There's a difference between being a fanboy and having a male crush. You done jumped that line. You're not even a fanboy no more.
Like him. He looks like him.
You heard him, right? Boxing bro.
Mean in there. He's just mean.
We could have been flawless, flying up to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.